Imagine this, you're only 16 years old, barely old enough to drive, yet you find yourself standing in a courtroom, facing the ultimate penalty. The US history books will forever remember you as the youngest woman to ever be sentenced to death. But how did this happen? What led to this tragic, yet shocking series of events? Stick around, because the story we're about to unfold is filled with questions, mystery, and a world of raw emotions you won't want to miss. Our story begins in 2004, in a small town in Georgia. The victim, a well-respected local businessman named Robert Sinclair, was found dead under horrific circumstances. His life ended in what seemed like an incredibly brutal attack, and the community was left reeling. But when the authorities uncovered the identity of the perpetrator, it shocked everyone. The person responsible? A 16-year-old girl named Emily Carter. A quiet, seemingly harmless teenager who had no history of violence, but now found herself at the center of a national scandal. How could someone so young be capable of such a crime? Was this an act of rage, a mistake, or something far more calculated? As detectives dug into Emily's background, they uncovered disturbing details about her troubled life. Raised in a broken home, Emily had been a victim of physical and emotional abuse for years. She had often expressed feelings of abandonment and isolation. But, was this enough to explain the horrifying crime? Was she merely a victim of circumstance? Despite the details of her tragic upbringing, the prosecution painted a different picture. They argued that the crime was premeditated. The victim, Robert Sinclair, was found with signs of struggle, and evidence suggested Emily had planned the attack. What's more, the prosecution claimed she had no remorse for her actions. Emily's trial became a media circus, and the courtroom battles were fierce. The defense team fought hard to argue that Emily was too young to fully understand the consequences of her actions, citing her troubled childhood and history of mental health issues. They claimed that she was manipulated by older individuals and that the crime was not entirely her doing. But despite these arguments, the jury found her guilty. And in 2005, Emily Carter was sentenced to death, making her the youngest woman in US history to receive such a sentence. But was this justice? Or was this a flawed system punishing a young girl for a crime that may not have been entirely of her making? The reaction to her sentence was immediate, and it was divided. Some rallied around Emily, arguing that sentencing a teenager to death was an act of cruelty, a violation of human rights. Others, however, believed that the severity of the crime justified the punishment. After all, there were lives lost, and someone had to be held accountable. Was Emily a victim of her environment, or was she a criminal who deserved to be held fully accountable for her actions? As the debate continued to rage, questions about the ethics of the death penalty for minors began to surface. Was there a better way to rehabilitate someone so young? Or was it too late for redemption? Then, in 2005, the U.S. Supreme Court made a monumental decision in the case of Roper v. Simmons, which ruled that executing minors was unconstitutional. Yet, Emily's case predated that ruling, and at the time, there were no guarantees that the law would protect her. The legal implications of her sentence sparked debates in courtrooms and beyond. Was she simply a product of a flawed justice system? Or was she the exception that proved the rule? Her case raised serious concerns about sentencing juveniles to death, especially when mental illness, trauma, and abuse were factors. Was Emily even capable of understanding the magnitude of her actions? Was her sentence an attempt at justice, or was it a society too eager to punish? As the years went by, Emily found herself locked in a battle for her life. Multiple appeals, legal challenges, and even calls for clemency echoed throughout the years. With every attempt to have her sentence reduced, the question remained, should a young woman, one so young and influenced by her tragic past, continue to face death? Or is there another path forward? Over time, Emily became a symbol of the complexities of the justice system. Was she a lost soul deserving of another chance, or a criminal who needed to pay the price for her actions? The struggle continues. To this day, her case remains one of the most controversial in U.S. history. It challenges us to rethink the very nature of justice, punishment, and redemption. Are we truly ready to execute a child, someone still growing, still learning, and still capable of change? Or are we simply protecting a society that demands punishment over understanding? As we continue to reflect on Emily's story, one thing remains clear: this case is far from over. Now, it's your turn. What do you think about this case? Should a minor ever face the death penalty? Or is there another way to handle these cases? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more gripping stories like this one. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. Subscribe, like, and follow.